What's up, guys? It's your girl, Cyclonic Wolfos, and we're howling at you with some more PDL shenanigans. We are doing a draft analysis. I'm doing a little bit different take on this time around. You're gonna see a little bit of a different editing style. I'm trying out some new things that I hope you guys enjoy, as you can tell, and a lot of this stuff is post-edited. Well, not post-edit. You get what I mean. It's a lot of it's gonna be like that. But I am gonna be explaining my picks, some reasoning behind why I picked what I picked this season, and I'm hoping you guys enjoy the new shenanigans and such. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. Or if you have thoughts on the team or such, we'll get right into it though. So starting off with this season, I wanted to be a little bit different. I wanted to go with different mons I haven't used yet, mostly. So my first pick was a little bit tough for me because I looked at all my mons. I'm like, which of these do I not want to go? Which one do you think I will go first? So I went with Ttar for my first pick. Ttar was a tier 1 pick, which I figured a lot of people would want it at the time, and I was correct because the person after me literally got upset because they were gonna pick Ttar that exact same round right after me. So I'm glad I went with Ttar first. Ttar was an interesting pick for me because I don't like quad weakness mons, because I just don't like quad weaknesses, but I really liked its stats with the 134 base attack, well-rounded special defense, and HP at 110 defense. It's a little bit on the slower side. It can be run specially, the 95 base special attack, but it's clearly physical, obviously. But it's a little bit on the slower side, so a little bit of worry about that, but it's also a rock dark type. And it sets up the sand, which allows me to control some weather in the field play, which I've noticed a lot of the teams drafted some weather out there. Ttar was one of the picks that I've wanted to use for a while now. And it learns a variety of moves that could be either physical, special, supportive, and as you guys can tell by the layout, this is doubles, so I wanted a mon that could hold its own, but also help out his teammates as well. And Ttar seemed like a really good solid pick to do that. I wasn't originally wanting to run a weather team at all, I just wanted something to counter weather, but Ttar makes a good addition if I wanted to have a weather team going up, because it sets up on weather and it helps its teammates into that. Speaking of which, moving on to our next pick of the league, we went directly for a tier 3 with Cradilly. Cradilly was a mon that I had been looking at throughout the thing. I didn't know if I wanted to draft it right away or not, but then I noticed everybody was starting to get all these water types out there. Everybody was starting to get their counters to everybody, and I'm like, I don't like all these water types. And then someone drafted Rotom Wash right away as well, so I'm like, I don't want to deal with Rotom Wash this season, because last season Soy wrecked my shop with that. So I got a way to counter that with our Cradilly, which can run Storm Drain. Words, Wolfos, words. It's not the greatest attacker or special attacker with a base 81, but it can be used to attack, and if it gets a Storm Drain boost, that would be really nice because that special attack. I'm hoping it helps out with people thinking twice about bringing water types against my Ttar and stuff like that. And a fairly crazy team. It is a little bit on the slower side as well, but it makes up for that with the bulk. I mean, look at that defense. Defense stat is 97 base, and special defense is 107 base. I can make it extremely bulky. I can make it extremely supportive. It gets access to a lot of fun moves and such. It can support its team. It can set up its own weather. It can learn Sandstorm, Sunny Day. So it can set up its own weather. It could take rid of the sun. It could get rid of the sand. It could get rid of all that stuff. Plus, it learns some support moves. But it's mainly there just to help me out with all those pesky water types and such, because I didn't want to have to deal with them, and I don't think they want to get hit by a Storm Drained Energy Ball or Giga Drains Cradilly. I don't know if you would, but I know I wouldn't want to. That's mainly there. I got a lot of fun shenanigans planned for this. It could run suction cups. I could be like a cheeky and run the suction cups and get you baited with the Storm Ring and make you out think you want to use water moves. I don't know. It's there for fun. It's there for lots of fun. Moving on to our next pick, we drafted our mascot, a tier 2 Dusk Lycanroc. Obviously, I gotta draft this Dusk Lycanroc every season. I can't let people use it against me. I can't. It's our mascot. I don't want to face my mascot, okay? I feel bad for facing my mascot and killing it. But it's also not a bad mon either. It also helps with that speed side that we were having difficulty with our previous 2 mons, because this one's base speed is 110. So it's a little bit on the faster side. It's a strong glass cannon, physical attacker. And it gets powerful access to the quick moves like Accelerock. And I think, yeah, it gets Accelerock, it gets Sucker Punch. It also has the ability to set up sand itself with Sandstorm. It has the ability to set up rocks. It's got the ability to hang in there and learn a variety of move pools, to have access to certain things like rock moves, fairy moves, psychic moves, fighting moves, steel moves. It's got a little bit of coverage to help fight out with the team and hold its own. Yeah, it's kind of fragile with those defenses, like I said, glass cannon, but it is hella fast, and I'm hoping it helps out with the speed and the team side of things. Moving on, we got our first tier 4 pick, which is Crosstalk. If you're wondering why you see a little bit of a sand team forming, I wasn't originally planning to go sand, but I'm like, you know what? Why not? Why not have something in the back if I need it? Who knows? Maybe on that won't use sand at all. Maybe I'll use a bunch of sand. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw sand in your face. Pocket sand. Boom. I don't know. We shall see. But I wanted to... I couldn't decide what the tier 4 mons I wanted right away either, because tier 4 was very slim pickings. Very slim pickings. And I wanted something that would go well with my team. Crosstalk seemed to fit the niche. It's another really slow mon, but it's very bulky. And it's got a pretty powerful attack stat with the 105 attack. The defense is hella crazy. 125 defense. That's like crazy. But I wanted more balance with that. I wanted something that was help with the tier 4 and not seem like, oh hey, I had to pick this because I had to pick this. Crosstalk seemed to fit the niche that I was trying to build up with. It can also set up rocks itself. It has the ability to set up sand if I need it. It has the ability to wide guard if it would be very helpful with doubles. And it's got a lot of fun shenanigans up its trick that it can do. It can set up a Swords Dance or Shell Smash and go ham in your face. So don't be sleeping on Crosstalk. Crosstalk kind of scary. And I didn't want to have to face it this season, because I saw people thinking about their tier 4s. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to face that thing, so I'm going to take that thing. So yeah, that could be a lot of fun. We're going to move on to our next pick, which is our second required tier 1 mon, which is our Kingdra we picked. You're like, but Wolfos, your team has all been sand. It's been a lot of sand. Why are you picking a water type? How's that good in the sand? Well, that's exactly right. People are gonna be like, hey, she's got the sand, she's gonna be weak to water. Well, I want more water resistance. Kingdra has really built on the stance with 95 in attack, defense, special attack, special defense. And it's not the fastest with the 85 speed, or very bulky with that 75 HP, but Kingdra is very much a threat. It used to be really much of a threat in Gen 2 when there was no fairy typing, because dragon types are busted sometimes, because Kingdra's just busted with that bulk. But Kingdra gets a lot of variety as well. It can set up rain, it can set up hail. Like if I really needed to clear through with the things with that. It doesn't get a lot of coverage, I've noticed, but it does get a lot of fun moves that you can use. It helps me out with a lot of those grass types with its ice moves. It helps me out with some of their dragons, because I know people drafted dragons. It helps you get covered with fairies with the steel typing moves. It helps with the flying coverage because it learns flying coverage moves. It gets a little bit of variety. It gets a little bit of that. If I wanted to be cheeky, I could set up a smoke screen or something. I don't know. It's mainly there to be a bulk. It's mainly there to be helping against that anti-weather because I noticed that someone was drafting a rain team, and Kingdra is a really good counter for a rain team because it can't be there. It gets Swift Swim, it can go fast in the rain if it wants to. It gets Sniper, which makes it critable easy. I don't know why it gets Damp, because I don't care about explosions. Nobody's gonna use explosions if they want to win, so yeah. I didn't really care about the Damp ability, so we shall see. It might be cheeky times, I don't know. Moving on to our next Tier 2 pick, we went with Ludicolo. Ludicolo. Colo. I wanted to go with Ludicolo, but originally my thoughts were Rodriguez because I wanted to add to the sand aspect a little bit. But when I noticed that rain team going up, I thought, hey, what would be a perfect counter for a rain team that works well in the rain? Ludicolo popped up in my mind immediately, and I'm like, yes. It gets a rain dish, it gets swift swims, it can go fast in the rain. It's also water grass type, so it benefits from the rain. And if you're using your own water type against it, you might be a little bit afraid because that grass type is going to hit like a truck. It gets access to a variety of pool of moves. It can set up rain, it can set up sun, it can set up hail. It gets things like Teeter Dance. It's Mist to help with things like that. Obviously, it can learn Fake Out, which is fun. If I want to run be like, hey, I'm going to send it out. Hey, yeah, I thought you could attack me. Haha, funny. And it gets a lot of coverage, it gets a lot of variety. And I just never got a chance to use this. As you can tell, most of the mons, besides Lycanroc obviously, have been mons that I've never used yet, and I'd love to use, so... Also, it's not that bad with its stats, it may be a little bit slower, but it adds to a little bit bulky as well. So, bulky but slow is fun. Bulky but slow is fun. What was our next pick? Our next pick, actually I didn't have it pulled up, sadly. Thought I had it pulled up, I guess I didn't know. But our next pick was another Tier 3, which was Trevano. And this was another mon that I didn't originally have planned. Originally it was a Shuckle, but then I realized Shuckle was a little bit too much of a predictable mon that I didn't want on the team. Yeah, most people run Contrary Shuckle with the power swap to switch his attack and defense, so its attack go burn, its defense go bleh. I wanted to try it out, but then I realized Shuckle wouldn't be a good play because people could easily predict it. So I'm like, what could help out with my team a little bit more? I noticed a lot of people were getting fighting types, and my teacher was incredibly weak to fighting. I'm like, I needed some coverage for those fighting types, so I went with Trevano. Because if I could get a cheeky switch in on that, it'd be like, hey, you can't hit me with a fighting type move, haha! Because of the ghost typing. Yeah, it's a little bit slow, but that works out in its favor because it gets Trick Room access. So there's always that. It's a really big, powerful physical attacker that can hit you like a truck. If you're not paying attention, it gets a lot of coverage moves, it gets a lot of helping moves. Like, it can set up the sun if I wanted to. It can be learning some powerful moves like that could help out his team, like Ally Switch. It gets access to a lot of fun things, and I like to try it out. I really would. This season I wanted to go with fun, but I also wanted to go with something that didn't seem like it'd be like, ha, no threat. I want the people to know, hey, I can use these cool mons and still become a threat. I got a lot of fun plans for these things. Got a lot of fun things for these things. And our last required Tier 4 is none other than Tertinator. Like I said, I had a lot of difficulty picking my Tier 4 mons because I wasn't liking a lot of them. And I wanted coverage for my team. I noticed I didn't have a fire type yet. And a lot of people were getting grass types. So I wanted to draft Tertinator because it seemed like a fun mon to use. It's got a really high defense stat of 135. It fits well with if I want to use Trick Room with the Trevano. But it also could be anti-Trick Room as well. With how slow it is, they set up their own Trick Room. I send them my Tertinator, they're like, oh snap, I should not have done that. My whole team basically was anti-weather, anti-tricks, anti-hacks. I wanted to be prepared for everything and anything this season, so I went with a variety of mons. Tertinator seemed like a fun mon to use, and yes, it does know Explosion Chaos. It can get access to Explosion, gets access to some fun moves and abilities of helping out his teammates. It gets a little bit more coverage than most of my team gets. Plus it has the ability for speed control with Bulldoze, if I wanted to run Bulldoze. It can also set up the sun if I wanted to set itself up. I don't know how I'm going to run it this season, but I think I have an idea of how I want to run it, if I do get a chance to run it this season. Seems like a fun mon, and I hope to have some fun with it this season. Moving on to our first extra pick, we went with Lunatone. Keeping with that rock vibe, I noticed I needed a psychic type mon to help me out with all those people's drift and fighting types and their poison types. And Lunatone, like I said, tier 4. Tier 4, obviously, I didn't have it. I've been wanting to use this since last season too. Since I saw some people using it. Chaos, I think, used it last season. And I wanted to use it myself because I've never used Lunatone. It gets access to helping out with Sandstorm and Rain Dance at the same time if I needed to set up the weather, if I wanted to run weather. It gets Helping Hand, it gets things like Ally Switch, it gets Trick Room, stuff like that. It's a very good doubles mon. It could be used as a very good ally, or it can use a very good snapping thing. I just forgot what I was gonna say. It could be a powerful hitter, it could also become a powerful ally, I don't know. I have access to leg screens that reflect, so I can set up my own stuff, I can safeguard so people can't hack me. I'm looking at you, Soy and Haunter, you're not gonna be able to hack me this season. No, I won't let you. But it also gets some spread moves like Rock Slide. And it seemed like a fun play. I've never used it, it's got a lot of fun variety that I wanted to try out. And I got a lot of plans for it. That I'd like to try out and hope to get to use this season. Moving on to my next extra pick, I went with Corsa. Yeah, it doesn't fit any of the niches I went with already. Everyone's like, but it's just a ghost type. What the heck are you doing with that thing? Why did you craft that thing? Like, I wanted to use it. I've been wanting to use it for the past 2 seasons, actually. The first season, I just didn't have enough points and didn't want to trade anything. Second season, I didn't really see a need for it, but wanted to try it out. It's got a killer base 145 special attack stat, which is kind of scary if you ask me. Very scary. Plus it's very specially defensive with 130. It fits the niche if I need to access Trick Room with the 30 speed. But it's also there if people set up their own Trick Room, so like, hey, beware. My team is prepared for your Trick Room shenanigans with my anti-Trick Room. I have an anti at basically everything for my team, okay? I planned for everything ahead of time and I'm like, yeah, no, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. And with that special attack stat and the special moves it learns, I mean, that Hydro Pump is scary. Ice Beam is scary, Shadow Ball is scary, everything is scary. A very, very scary mon here. It has the ability to set up its own rocks, it has the ability to set up rain, sand, or sun, or hail. It has the power to hack you with the Will-O-Wisp. It has the ability to set up screens. It's got a lot of fun tricks up its sleeve. It's gonna be a powerful mon. Powerful, and if you're like me and you're like, oh hey, its defense is like pretty poor, think about its hidden ability Perish Body, man. If you hit it physically, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. Just saying. I thought it would be a fun mon to try out. Like I said, this season's all about me trying out new mons that I haven't tried out. Don't look at Lycanroc. It usually doesn't get brought in because I can't use it, but it's there as my mascot, so deal with it. But moving on, this season we got to draft a G-Max and a Restricted if we wanted to. I was very hesitant on what I wanted to decide, if I wanted to run a G-Max, if I wanted to run a Restricted. And so I picked for my Gmax Lapras. Lapras was a fun mon that I've been watching being drafted every season so far. I've never actually got to use it myself, plus the Gmax resonance it gives off is that free Aurora Veil, which would be really nice for my team if I needed to. It's also very bulky, a little bit slower side, but it's fine. It gets access to the water absorb to help me out with all my sand. It's much like Storm Drain, but this time instead of raising the special attack, it boosts its HP. It also gets access to hydration, gets access to shell armor. It looks like a fun bulky mon. It's a very powerful mon itself, mainly because of the bulk, and Gmax Lapras is one of the best Gmaxes out there that I've noticed, all because of the ability to set up the screens and such. It gets a wide variety pool of moves with typing, so it gets a little bit of coverage. Plus it gets some fun moves that could help out against the pesky water types and rain teams and such. It has the ability to set up its own rain. It has the ability to set up hail. It's got a lot of fun tricks and shenanigans up its sleeve, and I don't even have to Gmax it if I don't want to. Yeah, I'd lose my chance to Gmax, but I could run it as just a normal Lapras if I wanted to. I don't have to Gmax it. And I wanted to try it out this season. I haven't got to try Lapras out. It seemed like a fun play. Originally I thought about Appleton, but then I realized I already had enough grass planned, and I didn't want another Pokemon that was quite weak to anything. So yeah, I didn't want to draft Appleton, so I went with Lapras. I'm hoping it plays well to my strategy as I have planned out for it, and I hope it helps my team out a bit. As you can see, I have a pretty bit of a sand side, and then I have a bit of a rain side, and to balance off that rain side a little bit, I drafted my restricted Kyogre, which has obviously the drizzle ability. It automatically sets up the rain as an interest field. It's also a very powerful mon with 150 base special attack, 140 base special defense, 100 in attack and HP, 90 defense and 90 speed. It's a very scary mon, and I noticed something else scary on the field was Groudon, and I wanted a direct counter to Groudon. Not that I don't think the coach is going to bring Groudon, but I would be remiss if he didn't bring Groudon to any of the matches he fought, because Groudon's too good of Monte with that drought. He has a pretty good sun team going up. I have a pretty decent sand and rain team, if I do say so myself, if I have to go with that. Mainly I got Kyogre to help out with the anti-ret leather, because I wanted to be, hey, you want to set up the sun? Let me switch into my Kyogre. Your sun gone. Or, hey, sand? Okay, no problem. You're gone now. Or if I wanted to bring my own weather, I'd be like, hail. I could reset up the rain with my own rain dance. I have the ability to set up a thunder wave to paralyze you if I wanted to. Plus it gets some very powerful moves like thunder in the rain. Scary. Kyogre in the rain period is scary, but it would be a lot of fun. Originally my thoughts were Regirock, but then I looked at my team and I'm like, I don't need 50 billion things weak to the same thing. I already have enough weak to the same thing. I don't need 50 billion things weak to the same thing. Kyogre was like, eh. It was actually a toss-up between Kyogre and Rayquaza. I didn't know if I wanted to anti-weather with Airlock with the Rayquaza's ability to shut down weather, or if I wanted to be able to set up my own weather if I need to. I went with Kyogre. I thought it seemed like a good play, especially with all the scary mons out there. I wanted a scary mon of my own. I wanted to target peoples with it, but I really wanted to try something different and new this season. I haven't tried anything like this yet. I have a lot of fun strategies planned for my mons that I'm not going to reveal, obviously, because I know my opponents will be watching this at some point or another. But I have a plan for each and every one of you guys. I got a plan for each and one of you guys, and I'm hoping they all work. I'm hoping to have fun with you guys, and I hope you guys all enjoyed my draft analysis. I hope you enjoyed the difference in the editing style I tried with it, and I hope you guys enjoy the season. I will be posting every Sunday except for week 5 when I have my bye week, because there's 7 weeks. Every coach has a week off. Oh, dang computer. My week is week 5. I almost said 7. That's my last week with Chaos, bro. But mine is week 5, so there will be no video that week. But every Sunday, I will be posting my draft videos of my battles. I am not doing team builder videos this time around because I don't have the time. Plus, I know that nobody really watches my draft team builders, so I hope you guys enjoy. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and feel free to let me know what you think of the team, and let me know who you think is going to be the winner of this season, and who you'll be rooting for. For now, though, this is your girl, Cyclonic Wolfos, signing off. Stay safe, keep howling, and stay furious, my friends. Bye! Enjoy your season!